What's up, guys? So today I'm going to do a little quick tutorial on how I cook pasta. So we're going to do pasta today with smoked sausage. So what I usually do is I take 2 onions and I'm going to saute these. I'm not going to show you the exact step-by-step of what I do. I'm just going to talk it through. Maybe later I'll come up with a video showing you exactly what I do. So I'm going to take and saute these onions. This is 2 whole onions chopped, diced. They're not finely diced, it's like a coarse dice. My assistant is going to be in the kitchen helping me today. I already have the pasta itself on the stovetop boiling. And I have my sauce in a saucepan simmering on its own with none of the seasonings yet. It's just on a stovetop simmering on a low medium heat. It's like in between a 4 and a 5. So I'm not going to give the onions a long saute because onions tend to tender real quick. And what I want is I want the onions to actually tender in the sauce itself so it can release its flavors to the sauce. So I just really literally put the onions in the skillet, on a hot skillet with some olive oil for not even a minute. I'm dumping it into the sauce right now as we speak. So now what I'm going to do is I have a can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to saute the diced tomatoes just a little, maybe just until some of the water dry out of it. I drained the water already, but I'm going to saute it a little more just to drain more of the water out because tomatoes make more water. So if you don't try to cook some of the water out of it, it's going to make your sauce watery. You probably can hear it sizzling. Okay, so this is a bowl of blended seasonings that I mixed together. I'm not going to tell you guys what's in it. This is kind of like my secret ingredients, but I'll give you a few of my ingredients. So it's basically just blended herbs and seasonings. I have parsley, a little bit of oregano, Italian seasoning, and a few other seasonings that I'm not going to release to you guys. My assistant is going to take and put this in a pot with the sauce. And I'm going to let that simmer down in the sauce. I'm not going to saute that. I'm going to let it simmer in the sauce. And I love Italian seasoning, so I go real heavy on it. Maybe about a half a cup of it. And my tomatoes are still drying out. I still have them in the skillet on a medium-high temperature. You have to watch it because if you don't watch it, it's going to dry real quick and start burning. This is literally like the fastest dish you can ever make. Well, not really that fast because I do tend to let my sauce simmer along without the seasoning first for at least 30 minutes or so because of the acid in the tomato sauce. I do not put sugar in mine. I let mine cook till it cooks most of that acid up out of the sauce. And by the way, I'm using 3 cans of this Hunt's pasta sauce, garlic and herb. Okay, so my tomatoes are almost dried out. So what I'm going to do is have my assistant put my chopped smoked sausage, or sliced smoked sausage, in the skillet with the tomatoes, and I'm going to let this saute with the tomatoes. And also with the smoked sausage, I'm going to give it just a quick saute, just like I did the onions, because I don't want to cook out all the flavors. I want those flavors and juices to release itself in the sauce. So I'm going to leave this in for like a minute, just a little longer than what I left the onions in. So the sauce is still simmering. What I've done now is I've raised the temperature on the sauce, and I'm going to put a lid on it because I had it on low to prevent splashing. But now I'm going to put it up high, and I'm going to put a lid on it. So I'm going to put it on probably like a number 8 if you're using an electric stove. So now, because I already had my pasta started before I started the video, it's almost done. So I'm going to drain it and wash it. And what I'm going to do is wash it, rinse it off in hot water first. Then I'm going to shock the pasta with some cold water. And then I'm going to rerun hot water back over it. And you have to be very careful during this process because the pot is really hot. So I'm going to continue rinsing it. I'm gonna rinse off all that excess stuff, glucose and all that nastiness. Give it a good rinse. Now usually with pasta, if you're not going to eat it right away, once you rinse it with the cold water, you just want to leave it cold because it tends to continue cooking from the heat and it can also spoil. But we're going to be eating this right away, so I'm going to shock it with the cold water. I rinsed it with hot water first, now I'm going through it with cold water. Shake it up. And then I'm going to put the temperature back to hot water again. I'm going to let it sit in here and let the water drain off of it for a few seconds. So now I'm taking the diced tomatoes and the smoked sausage and actually letting it simmer down in the sauce. I'm going to put the pasta in this bowl. And now I'm going to just put like a cap of grapeseed oil. Or you can use olive oil. I'm going to put 2 caps because there's a lot of pasta. And kind of mix that in now so it don't stick. Because remember, it's still hot, so it's going to start sticking. Now you can garnish your pasta with parsley flakes or salt and pepper, however you like. You can even use butter instead of olive oil, but I try to go to a more healthier source. Got that mixed up real good. And then I'm just going to set this to the side. So now I'm going to let my pasta sauce cook for about 20 more minutes. It's been on almost a good 40 minutes now. And then I'll be back with the final. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes now. And this is the final outcome. As you can see, my sauce is really thick. So if you follow what I said and let the juices cook out of the tomatoes first before you put the diced tomatoes in your sauce, you will never have problems with runny sauce. Today is a nice rainy day, so this is a good dish for rainy days or just when you want to whip up something quick for the kids. And also like a quick date night dinner. So don't forget to subscribe, you guys, and hit the like button and share my videos. Thank you. Before we dismiss, my assistant is going to do a quick taste test. And she's going to give you guys a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's hot. And there you have it. 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe.